this is Arunava Chaudhuri and you are on my YouTube channel Arunfoot. The All India Football Federation is under immense pressure to save the 2025-2026 season. On one side you have the Supreme Court, which has put guardrails out there in regard to how a commercial deal should look like, and that has led to the failure of the ISL tender. On the other side you have the clubs, be it from the ISL, be it from the I-League, the players, the staff, everyone involved. And the All India Football Federation thought on Wednesday, November 12th, at short notice, let's call a number of meetings, let's get in some ideas to try maybe figure out what could help to get us out of this situation. Okay, sounds an interesting idea, one would think. First up, the AIFF Executive Committee. And there, afterwards, you got to know that there are certain members of the EXCO who had told the top brass of the AIFF that certain things should be handled in a different way. That did not happen, and most probably that's one of the reasons why we are in the situation we find ourselves in. Then there was supposed to be a meeting with the I-League clubs. That was boycotted by the I-League clubs. Again, the question I-League clubs is also very, very interesting because do we know who's been relegated from the I-League to I-League 2? Still we don't, right? Then the option of the captains of the ISL teams. Yes, certain players came, spoke. And then the CEOs of the ISL clubs, except Mohun Bagan and East Bengal. So a lot of conversations happening. But the AIFF, in my opinion, is clearly past the level of talking and conversations. The AIFF needs to get into action. They need to do things. They need to change things, because otherwise, things won't change. Right? We are in a very difficult situation. It is bizarre, to say the least, that afterwards the AIFF president comes out and says, you know what? Yeah, we can play the full season of the ISL. Right? Where even the most optimistic people within that ISL system framework saying, if we can get half a season done, we're good. Then we've got another level, which is the I-League clubs who are asking questions, because they're putting pressure on the AIFF to say, listen, sort out things in the next 10 days and let's start in the beginning of Jan. Now, the problem with all of this is, despite whatever a lot of people are saying, is do the AIFF have the funds to run things for the remainder of the season? Because if you look at people who are applying for jobs in the AIFF or who are vendors of the AIFF, there seems to be financial issues. So the question now is, when will Nageshwar Rao, Justice Nageshwar Rao, go to the bench of the Supreme Court and explain to them, listen, the tender has failed? What will be his suggestion in regard to a plan B? Will there be a second tender with different numbers? Because one has to be honest, that tender document is not worth the paper. It's one of the problems. And the reality is that even if someone was interested in the tender, in the rights of the ISL, if they look at the document and how unclear it is on numerous points, why would someone come forward to put in money and lose money? Let's be clear, in the next 3 to 5 years, whoever comes in, they'll be losing money. And we're talking 200, 300 crores. So we're talking about 1,000 to 1,500 crores that someone would be willing to lose to have and hold the rights of the All India Football Federation. Anyone with a little bit of business sense, despite being a football or a sporting fan, will not do it. That's the problem. And therefore, the stakeholders also have to ask themselves, the ISL clubs, the I-League clubs, we've seen now the players come up. You all need to work together. Only if you work together in the interest of Indian football can things happen in a good and positive way. Otherwise, the situation which we find ourselves in will get even worse, more complex, and more complicated. What do you guys think? Do you agree? Do you disagree with me? You got anything else to add, write those down in the comments below. And as always, like, share, and subscribe to Arunfoot here on YouTube. Visit my other social medias, visit arunfoot.com. And I'll be back very soon. Arunava Chaudhuri signing off. Bye for now.